It was supposed to be one last blowout before graduation. I go to a small UC school in California, not one of the well-known ones like UCLA or Berkeley, but a quiet inland campus most people haven't heard of. Every spring, students from smaller schools like mine drive out to Santa Barbara for Deltopia, a massive weekend-long beach party that's basically college Mardi Gras. I'd never been. Crowds aren't really my thing, and I'd always found reasons to skip. But with senior year almost over, I started feeling that weird pressure to do something reckless, something I'd remember. So when my roommate Hunter asked if I wanted to come along for one last ride, I said sure. Just a weekend with friends, a little partying, nothing crazy. What I didn't expect was that one of the people we crossed paths with would turn a fun trip into one of the most disturbing experiences of my life. Looking back, there were signs, but we missed them all. We left Friday afternoon, 5 of us crammed into Hunter's beat-up SUV. Me, Hunter, Damon, Ben, and Armin. Every one of us is over 6 feet tall, so space was non-existent. Our legs were tangled, bags jammed between seats, and the air reeked of energy drinks and gas station snacks. But the vibe was good. Music blasting, windows down, everyone hyped for the weekend. None of us said it out loud, but we all knew this was probably the last time we'd be doing something like this together. That unspoken energy kind of made the discomfort bearable. After about 3 hours of traffic and bad navigation, we finally pulled into Isla Vista, where the party was already starting to swell. Hunter's sister Jenna was letting us crash on her apartment floor, which was basically gold. Housing during Deltopia is chaotic. We figured we'd just pre-game that night, ease into it. No pressure. But something was already off, even if we didn't realize it yet. Jenna and her roommates were chill, super welcoming, considering 5 guys were about to take over their floor space. They'd pushed furniture aside to make room for sleeping bags, and someone had already started mixing drinks by the time we arrived. It felt like we'd timed everything perfectly. That night was supposed to be low-key, just a hangout before the real madness of Saturday. But somewhere between our 3rd round of drinks and a heated debate about the best 2000s party songs, there was a knock at the door. Hunter opened it, and standing there, like he belonged, was Amir. None of us had invited him. In fact, we hadn't even brought him up during the trip planning. He'd mentioned to Hunter weeks ago that he might show up, but there had been no actual plan. The room went quiet. Amir smiled like nothing was weird, like he just happened to be in the neighborhood. And just like that, the entire mood shifted. Amir was one of those guys who never quite fit in, but kept showing up anyway. He wasn't technically part of our friend group, more like someone who orbited it. Loud, awkward, constantly inserting himself into conversations with a weird mix of desperation and arrogance. Most of us tolerated him out of politeness, but none of us had ever actually invited him to hang out. So when he showed up that night, unannounced, it didn't feel like a coincidence. It felt like he had followed us. We tried to play it cool, figuring maybe he'd just hang for an hour and leave. But then he started acting like he was staying the night. He told Jenna, completely straight-faced, "I'm crashing here too," and walked right past her like he owned the place. Hunter's face turned pale. That wasn't just annoying, it was a lie. And in a weekend full of partying and chaos, a lie like that can spiral into something worse. Much worse. Hunter pulled me aside, visibly pissed. "I never told him where we were staying," he whispered, eyes scanning the room like Amir might overhear. "How the hell did he find us?" That's when it clicked. Hunter had been sharing his iPhone location with Amir months ago for a group project and had never turned it off. The realization hit hard. Amir had tracked us here. What started as an awkward intrusion was now feeling calculated. Hunter confronted him, told him straight up he wasn't welcome and needed to leave. Amir played dumb, said he thought it was fine, that no one would care. But Hunter was firm. After a long, uncomfortable back and forth, Amir finally left, grumbling, annoyed, but not before lingering just outside the door for a full 20 minutes like some sulking ghost. We figured that was the end of it. We even laughed about it later. But Amir wasn't done with us, not even close. The next day, Deltopia was everything people said it would be. Wild crowds, music on every block, strangers handing out drinks from coolers, and balconies overflowing with bodies. We spent the day hopping from house to house, soaking in the chaos, trying to forget the weirdness from the night before. By mid-afternoon, the party energy was fading, and we regrouped at Jenna's apartment with 5 more friends who had arrived separately. While decompressing, we told them about the Amir situation, how he'd appeared out of nowhere, lied to Jenna, and refused to leave. Everyone agreed it was bizarre. That's when Ryland, one of our newer friends, said, "Wait, I think I still have Amir's location." He pulled out his phone, opened the map, and froze. The little blue dot that marked Amir's location was right on top of us. Not near us, on us, like he was outside the building again. At first, we all thought it had to be a glitch. There was no way Amir was actually nearby again, not after everything that happened. But before anyone could say much more, the blue dot started moving. Not just drifting randomly, but pulling away from our location quickly, like someone driving off. No one said it out loud, but we all had the same thought. Amir had been parked outside, possibly watching us, and bolted the second we noticed. A heavy silence settled over the room. It wasn't just creepy, it was borderline obsessive. Hunter started pacing, muttering about whether they should call someone. But after a few tense minutes, we convinced ourselves it was over. Maybe Amir had realized how unwelcome he was and decided to leave for good. It was easier to believe that than admit we might be dealing with someone who'd gone off the rails. So, stupidly, we poured more drinks and kept the party going. That night, after everyone had passed out, I woke up to the sound of glass shattering. It was coming from somewhere deep in the apartment, and my heart slammed against my chest as I shot up off the floor. My mind raced. Was someone breaking in? I tried to shake the fog of sleep away, straining to hear any other sounds, but the apartment was eerily quiet. I glanced around at my friends, all dead to the world, completely wasted. I was the only one awake, and probably the only one who could do anything about it. I didn't have a weapon, so I grabbed an empty wine bottle from the floor, gripping it like some kind of makeshift club. Every step I took toward the noise was a calculated risk. I approached the living room cautiously, and that's when I saw it. The sliding door leading to the balcony was shattered, glass scattered across the floor like confetti. A rock lay in the center, and my blood ran cold. I knew it. Amir had been here again. I froze for a moment, fear gnawing at me as I scanned the room. The feeling that I wasn't alone hit me like a ton of bricks. I was about to rush to wake Hunter when I noticed something at the corner of my eye. The closet door handle jiggled. My stomach dropped. Amir couldn't have possibly come in through the balcony. Could he? I crept toward the closet, holding my breath, ready to confront whatever nightmare I was about to face. Just as my hand reached the handle, my instincts screamed at me to stop. I backed away slowly, then rushed to wake Hunter. He groggily followed me back into the living room, but by the time we got there, the closet door was wide open. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Hunter stepped forward and reached inside. What he pulled out left me paralyzed with shock. A massive kitchen knife, the blade reflecting the dim light. Amir had been hiding in there, waiting for the right moment to strike. He could have killed me. We woke the others up, and a tense search of the apartment confirmed Amir was gone, thankfully. But the damage was done. We called the police, but all they could do was file a report. "Stuff like this happens during Deltopia," the officer said, as if that made it any less horrifying. But Amir had already covered his tracks. He'd stopped sharing his location, so we couldn't even show them how he had stalked us to the apartment. The next morning, we packed up quickly. Hunter was especially freaked out, knowing Amir had already snuck in once. Before we left, Hunter sent him a message, calling him out for everything that had happened, but Amir had blocked him before the message went through. We all checked our phones. Every single one of us had been blocked too. For weeks, no one heard from Amir. It's like he vanished. I'm still on edge, convinced he's out there, watching, waiting for the right moment. And I don't know if I'll ever feel safe again.